Hi all, and welcome to my new video related to Bitcoin education. In this video, we'll discuss about a topic that I am hearing more and more. In fact, many people are saying Bitcoin was created in order to be an asset against inflation. It is not, because at the moment the stock market is going down, and also Bitcoin is going down, is given even more down than S&P 500. Therefore, Bitcoin failed. But the reality it is that it is normal at the moment. That is not an asset against inflation. I will explain why. And Bitcoiners think that in the future it will be that and much more. So, as a disclaimer, as always, this presentation is for educational purpose only. It is not a financial advice. So, common misconception, as I just said, generally people are saying this: Bitcoin should be an asset against inflation, but it is correlated to stocks and equity. Therefore, its monetary value proposition failed. And there are several reasons why it is a misconception. Firstly, it is a short-term thinking, and this word short-term thinking I use also in several other cases. Secondly, Bitcoin is a very young financial asset, 13 years old. Volatility is normal, and it is gold since thousands of years. It took long time for gold to become store of value. So let's give Bitcoin some other time. Third, the level of general education on Bitcoin is too low at the moment to have it as an asset against inflation. I will deep dive. And fourth, too many different players at the moment are investing in Bitcoin. Generally, there are six different players in the Bitcoin financial market, people who buy and sell in Bitcoins. There are institutional investors, Bitcoiners, retail investors with intermediate or good education on Bitcoin, retail investors with low education on Bitcoin, traders, and technocrats. Three are good and three are bad for Bitcoin to be seen as an asset against inflation. Which are the good ones? The first three. First, institutional investors. They invested a small amount of their portfolio, so diversification, and they are in Bitcoin in the long term. It means that they said to their financial advisor, if it is possible, an ETF or a small percentage of institutional investors, maybe they open an account in an exchange like Coinbase, Binance, or Crypto.com or another, and they put 1 or 2% in Bitcoin. Why they are good investments for Bitcoin? Because they are for the in the long term. They are not buying and selling according to the price. They did diversified. They have maybe 1% in Bitcoin, and that's it. Second, Bitcoiners. They are the people who have understood Bitcoin. They say they are saving in Bitcoin, and they keep buying Bitcoin with time, and they have a long time horizon, at least 4 years. They are not bothered by the price action for sure. They are not that happy that about the if the price crashes, and we have seen the crash from 69 to the actual level. But also they keep buying if even if the price is going up or down. They believe Bitcoin as the future form of money, so they keep buying. Third, retail investors with intermediate a good knowledge of Bitcoin. They are not saving as the Bitcoiners because they don't have such a high knowledge on Bitcoin, and it's okay. And they invested as well a small portion of their portfolio in Bitcoin, but they understood that it's an asset for the long term. Therefore, they are keeping invested. For sure, they are more bothered from the price actions, but they are not selling. Then on these were the three good one. Now who are the bad one? The bad one who caused this volatility and to see Bitcoin not as an asset against inflation. Firstly, retail investors with low education on Bitcoin. Mostly these people they have no clue or little clue about Bitcoin. They bought Bitcoin for a get rich quick scheme, and every Bitcoin expert is saying that it's not like that. For that, you can please go to the casino. Bitcoin's in for the long term, but it's like, oh, they don't listen, they don't want to listen, or they didn't even decide, they decide to not even to spend time, and they saw the price increase, then they put some money, and they enter because of FOMO, fear of missing out. In fact, without knowledge, they are not psychologically able to handle the situation when Bitcoin crashes, and they sell with losses. In fact, we see the price they went to 40, 35, 30, and one of the reasons why it's going down because these people bought last year maybe at 45, 50, 55. At one point, they reach a psychological threshold. They cannot cope anymore with the losses. They sell, and the price goes further down. Fifth are the traders, and they are trading with Bitcoin price, and they are doing it to take profit from the price movement of Bitcoin. And I think for me it's wrong because it will be too much stress for general people who are doing in day trading. And when the price is going up, they buy. When the price is going down, they sell. So they're pushing the price up and down, and as with the stock. And sixth, there are the technocrats. They see Bitcoin as an investment, as tech stock, or as an equity, as S&P 500, Amazon, Apple, Google. All these three categories, they see Bitcoin as a risk-on asset, means like similar to a tech stock or a normal stock. Therefore, when the market is going down, they see as a risk-on, then they sell. While the others, the first three, they see the asset as a risk-off, and or they keep buying, or when the market is going down, they buying. So what will happen? Why Bitcoin are so confident that and they keep buying Bitcoiners? Why they keep buying Bitcoin? Because with time, the general level of education on Bitcoin will increase. So the amount of institutional investor will increase. The amount of Bitcoiners will increase. The amount of retail investors with intermediate good education on Bitcoin will increase as well. What will decrease? Will decrease retail investor with low education on Bitcoin because if they sold at loss, with losses and they lost 50, 60, 70%, it's very unlikely they will buy again. We will have less traders and less technocrats because Bitcoin will be more and more generally seen as an asset against inflation, as a risk of asset. But it will become, as I said in the video, in the title, it will become that and much more. In fact, we will see, as I said, less people will see Bitcoin as a get rich with scheme, will see Bitcoin as a financial asset comparable to tech stock, and more people will invest with long-term horizon. And with time, Bitcoin will be then much less volatile and recognized as a worldwide store of value. Therefore, it will become also an asset against inflation and much more. What is much more? In fact, Bitcoin will reaching the store of value level as gold will be also an intermediate step, as I said earlier. In fact, Bitcoin from 2024 will be more scarce than gold, and it is much more divisible and portable than gold. It will be the scarcest asset in the world. And after becoming a store of value, considering these inherent monetary properties, Bitcoin has the chance to become the medium of exchange. So it will be used in many countries as a medium of exchange. And once it will be used as medium of exchange, it can also become the unit of account. At one point, we could stop to think about in dollars, in franc, in euro, or in yuan, and we will think in Bitcoin. This is the potential. What I personally think, I think Bitcoin going to the worldwide reserve currency store of value, it is just a matter of when, not on if, because Bitcoin is a superior form of money. We are just waiting the rest of the world, the rest of the world to understand it. And there is a possibility that it will become also a medium of exchange and then unit of account in the world. But this, it will be more clear once we reach the level of store of value. Thanks for the video. I hope you appreciate, and I hope now it is clear that it is not the fact that Bitcoin is at the moment not an asset against inflation doesn't mean that the Bitcoin monetary value proposition failed. Thanks, and see you next video.